When most people think about food, they think about comfort, a warm meal after a long day, a favorite recipe passed down from family, or even just the relief of knowing there is enough in the pantry to make it through the week. But for millions of seniors across America, food is not simply comfort, it is survival. And in 2025, survival is about to become a lot harder. Today, I need to talk to you about changes that are coming to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program SNAP, or what most of us still call food stamps, that will affect low-income seniors in ways many have never imagined. The truth is, there is one bill moving through Washington right now that has been branded the One Big Beautiful Bill, but behind that polished name is a plan that cuts $186 billion from SNAP over the next 10 years. That number might sound abstract, like something out of a budget spreadsheet in a faraway office, but let me break it down. Those billions are meals. They are grocery bags. They are the dignity of being able to shop without fear. And when that money is slashed, it doesn't just disappear, it comes out of the pockets, the plates, and the lives of people who already live with the tightest margins possible. Seniors are going to feel the squeeze first. So what exactly is changing? Let's start with one of the most pressing issues: work requirements. For decades, SNAP has placed conditions on so-called able-bodied adults without dependents, commonly referred to as ABODs. Traditionally, this meant younger adults without children who were expected to work a certain number of hours or participate in job training to qualify for food benefits. But in 2025, that age requirement is being expanded, no longer kept in the mid-50s. The requirement is being pushed all the way up to 64. Imagine being 62 years old, after a lifetime of hard work, maybe even managing health problems or the aches that come with age, and suddenly being told you are not senior enough to be exempt. That means more older Americans will be forced into job programs or risk losing access to food. And it doesn't stop there. In previous years, there were certain exemptions. Veterans could qualify more easily. Individuals who had experienced homelessness could still find support. Those who had aged out of foster care weren't left behind. But under the new plan, these exceptions are stripped away. It doesn't matter if you served your country, or if you have already endured the trauma of being without a home, or if you grew up in the foster care system. You are now in the same category as everyone else. No cushion, no compassion. For seniors who fall into these groups, the message is clear: you are on your own. Another change may sound technical, but its impact is enormous. The Thrifty Food Plan is the formula the government uses to calculate how much money families and individuals should receive for food. In 2021, it was adjusted upward to reflect the real cost of groceries, which gave families a much-needed boost. But now, adjustments are being locked down. In other words, the benefits will only rise with inflation, not with the true increases in the cost of nutritious food. Anyone who has walked into a grocery store in the past 2 years knows inflation is not the whole story. Food costs are rising faster than general inflation, and this cap means benefits will fall further and further behind reality. For a senior living on a fixed income, this could be the difference between buying protein for the week or relying on cheap starches just to stay full. States themselves are also being pulled into this tug-of-war. Starting in 2027, states will have to shoulder part of the administrative costs of SNAP, and by 2028, they may even be penalized financially if their error rates climb too high. At first glance, you might think this would encourage efficiency, but what it really does is create pressure on states to tighten eligibility, to deny borderline cases, to put up more hoops for people to jump through so they can avoid financial penalties. Who gets caught in that web? Seniors who may not have the energy or resources to appeal every rejection or correct every bureaucratic mistake. For years, one of the ways many seniors were able to qualify for higher benefits was through what is known as heat and eat. If a household received energy assistance through LIHEAP, they could claim a higher standard utility allowance, boosting their SNAP benefits. But in 2025, that connection is being severed for most families. Only households with elderly or disabled members will keep it. And even then, the rules are tighter. That means fewer seniors will qualify for this vital support, and many will see their monthly allotments drop. Even more concerning, certain deductions are being eliminated altogether. In the past, seniors could claim parts of their utility or internet expenses when calculating eligibility. These deductions often meant a modest but important increase in benefits. With these taken away, the monthly number drops again. For someone already counting every dollar, This isn't a minor adjustment, it's another cut at survival. There is also a quiet but devastating change around non-citizen eligibility. Many seniors who immigrated legally, who have lived and worked here for years, could access SNAP after meeting residency and legal status requirements. The new law narrows those pathways. This means older immigrants, often some of the most vulnerable and least resourced, will face greater barriers to keeping food on the table. It creates two classes of seniors, those who are allowed to eat with government help and those who must fend for themselves, regardless of their contribution to society. And let's not forget about SNAP-Ed and obesity prevention programs. These might sound like extras, but they have been lifelines in communities. These programs teach people how to cook healthy meals on a budget, how to stretch every dollar, how to manage diabetes through diet. Cutting them is like cutting the instruction manual right when people need it most. Seniors who rely on these programs to learn how to manage their health conditions are left with fewer tools, just as their benefits shrink. Taken one by one, these changes might seem like mere adjustments, but together, they paint a very different picture. Imagine a 63-year-old woman who worked for 40 years, only to find herself laid off and caring for her own chronic health issues. She goes to apply for SNAP. Now she is told she has to meet work requirements that don't match her physical reality. Her small LIHEAP benefit no longer helps boost her SNAP allowance. The cost of food outpaces the capped adjustment. She tries to claim her internet bill, but that deduction no longer exists. She gets less money every month, and the rules are stricter if she makes a mistake. How is she supposed to survive? Multiply her story by millions, and you start to see what 2025 will really look like. This is not just a policy debate. This is a moral question. What does it say about a country that chooses to cut food aid to its elders? What does it say when billions of dollars are stripped from the program that stands between hunger and dignity for so many? These seniors aren't asking for luxury. They are asking for enough to buy groceries, basic nutrition that keeps them alive. Now, if you're watching this and you are a senior, or you care for someone who is, you may be feeling overwhelmed, and that's understandable. The language of laws and bills can make everything feel distant, even while the effects hit home like a punch to the gut. But knowledge is power. By understanding these changes now, you have time to prepare. You can talk to your local SNAP office. You can connect with advocacy groups that are already mobilizing. You can make sure your documents and eligibility papers are in order before stricter rules take in. And most importantly, you can raise your voice. Because here's the truth, none of these changes are inevitable. Policies are written by people, and people can be persuaded. Lawmakers respond to pressure, to public outcry, to the stories of those directly affected. If seniors and their families speak up, if communities rally around the idea that no elder should go hungry, the tide can turn. This is why it is urgent to act now and later, not after the benefits are cut, not after the grocery bills pile up. I want you to think about how this connects to your own life. Maybe you've seen your grocery budget double in just a few years. Maybe you've already skipped meals so your grandchildren can eat. Maybe you've worried every time you swipe your EBT card, hoping there's enough left. These struggles are real. They are shared, and they should not be ignored. The one big beautiful bill may be beautiful to politicians who want to boast about savings, but to seniors, it is brutal. And remember, these aren't just numbers on a page. They are dinners with less meat. They are refrigerators with more empty shelves. They are health risks compounded by malnutrition. They are dignity chipped away one denied claim at a time. It is easy for policymakers to pat themselves on the back for cutting billions from a budget line. It is harder for them to picture the 65-year-old man standing in line at the food pantry because his SNAP benefits no longer stretch far enough. But that is the reality. You might be thinking, what can I do? And the answer is more than you think. Talk about this. Share information with friends, neighbors, church groups. Call your representatives. Demand that they see the faces behind the numbers. And most of all, don't let yourself be silent. Silence is what allows cuts like these to pass without resistance. As we move through 2025, the fight for SNAP is really a fight for values. Do we believe in protecting our seniors? Do we believe that after a lifetime of work, people deserve to eat? Or do we turn away, shrug, and accept that hunger is just the price of balancing a budget? That choice is not abstract. It is immediate, and it is personal. So let me leave you with this. 10 changes are coming, and they are big. They are urgent. They are targeted at seniors, whether directly or indirectly. You deserve to know what's happening, to prepare for it, and to push back against it. Don't wait until your benefits shrink to pay attention. By then, it will be too late. The time to act is now. Seniors matter, food matters, and no amount of budget math should erase that truth.